ES6 gives you a new way of creating functions called arrow functions. Arrow functions use what is called the fat arrow symbol, the equal sign and the greater than sign. Let's start using arrow functions now. Here I will declare a variable that will have my function greet. Then you start with parentheses for your parameters. Then you add the fat arrow symbol, the equal sign and the greater than sign. Then you open the block of code and here you add the code for your arrow function. Let's simply return hello. Then let's call the function and console log the result. And great, we have the message. It works just like a simple function that we define using the function keyword. But with arrow functions, you type less code. Let's take this further. With arrow functions, when you simply have just one line and that line returns a value, you can remove these curly braces and the return keyword. So let's do it. And now it is working properly. Great. Let's create the same function using the old school function keyword. So this code is minimized to this code using the arrow function. Let's remove the second function. And now if your function takes parameters, you can add them here. So let's make it take the name and age parameters. Then here we return a template literal. Then let's call it with a name and age. And now it is working. Now what if your function takes only one parameter? For example, the name parameter. So here let's change the return message. So you'll have let's greet, parentheses, name, the fat arrow symbol, then the message hello and name. And let's call it with my name. Great, it is working. Now when you use one parameter with arrow functions, you can remove parentheses and your function will still work. So you can see that with arrow functions, you can create code with less typing. Now there is an important aspect of arrow functions when you use them with objects. Let's remove this code and create a new object. So this object has name property, it has age property, and also a greet method. The greet method is created using an arrow function. Let's call this method and console log the result. Well, it just says hello. It does not console log my name. Let's try to just return here this to see if this is referring to our object. And now it returns the window object. So when we use arrow functions within objects, this will have the value of the global object and not the object itself. If you want to refer to the object itself within a function, don't use an arrow function. So let's fix this. And now it works properly. Arrow functions will allow you to type less code, of course, but sometimes it may not be the best solution out there. That's why you should know when to use arrow functions.